Welcome back. You're watching Morning Live. Thank you for choosing to stay with us. Now, The Magic of Quantum Living, The Oneness Principle by Edwin Nel is an inspirational guide that delves into the universe and how it works. We all live by a set of principles, but not many of us understand how to apply it. Edwin Nel joins me now in studio. Edwin, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Sammy. Thank you. Thank you.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts, for the benefit of our viewers, just give us a brief summary of The Magic of Quantum Living.
A brief summary is, as I take the universe, or I use energy in particles, science, in order to explain how everything is interlinked. And then I use the human mind and the mind of God, which everything comes from. Your intuition creates everything. So if you want a new movie or a new musical or some new instrument that's designed, even a cell phone, it's a thought that it's manifested on the physical plane. So where does that thought come? It comes from the divine. So that is basically the basis of the magic of quantum living, and everything is interlinked. In order to make that thought a reality, you need people, times, places, and events. And that's what it's about,
and circumstances. Let's talk about the universe, and let's unpack that very quickly and our role in it, because I do think a lot of people may be a little bit lost or don't completely understand their purpose, and often it gets wrapped around words like, I don't know what my purpose is. But we're talking about something a little bit bigger here from a universal perspective. Just unpack that for me very quickly. What do we need to know?
It's all about learning about yourself. So it's literally about you were not the same person you were 5 years ago, even 10 years ago. So you have progressed. It's evolution. So the magic of quantum living takes you through what your habits is, your thoughts are, what is your manifestation, how are you manifesting. And your mind has been programmed in a certain way. And it's about changing the programming in order to see a bigger picture, in order to love yourself more, to love everybody else more. And that's the evolutionary goal, is in order to progress. It's progression. And to understand that everything is interlinked as one. I need you in order to be on this TV today. You need viewers in order to watch the TV program. So everything is interlinked. Marketing needs people buying their products. Companies need people supporting them. So everything is interlinked. And we are progressing and learning more about ourselves. We have been kept in the dark, and that everything is manifested from the mind onto the physical plane. So literally for me, it's all about learning more about the self, understanding the self more. So that's the whole journey. Let
me be devil's advocate here very quickly. Obviously, the self does not operate on an island. It operates within a community. Totally. It's connected to wife, kids, work, boss. How does one develop a self that is resolute, that can be strong in the midst of, for lack of a better description, anarchy, chaos?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think we live in a society where we pressurize to compete against other people. And that competition sometimes takes over, and we do irrational acts. And I feel exactly like you were saying about the community. I feel in years to come, we're going to be a much stronger community setup. We've moved a lot of away of a community setup, and we've almost separated ourselves from community setup. And the journey for me is a moving back, like the ants and like the bees. They work together as a community, and for me that's so strong. And every ant and every bee has a part to play in that community. There's no need for massive competition, and I need to be better, I need to take you out, etc. It's almost like they work together. They're almost in service. That's what they actually are. They are in service to one another in order to achieve a common goal.
Is it possible, though? Is it possible? And I completely get what you're saying, and it's worked in certain cultures, in certain groupings, certain communities. We've seen that collective mindset work towards the betterment of the community. But we have to admit, we do live in the real world where competition, being competitive, earning a bigger salary, making sure that we have enough to feed for our children, clothes, etc., 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 is important. How do you divorce yourself from the daily grind of hustle and bustle?
Very good question again. I think it's, as you were saying, we all need this and need that and that. Where does the need come from? It's like Maslow's hierarchy. It's a perception. I need to drive that car. I need to have that $5, $10, $20 million house. You don't need that. You can live in a 3-story or 4-story house. You don't need a mansion. It's not going to make you more happy. And that's what it brings it back down to, the happiness, internal happiness, so that you can understand that I don't have to have all of the riches. I can share a little bit of the riches that I have,
2 things that you need to know, one that you've discovered while you put this book together, that you think are essential tips that everybody needs to apply?
Greet every person as family. I was on a bus back from Malawi, and there was a pastor on the bus, and he said, every stranger you meet is a friend yet to be discovered. It was an amazing, amazing quote that he gave me. Yeah. So every stranger that you meet, there is a friend to be discovered. It's actually a brother. So understand that everybody is family. It's just our minds have said we're not family. So treat everybody as family.
Okay, Edwin, no, I love what you're saying. I think for a lot of people, it's going to make absolute sense. The collective power of a community is maybe arguably better than one person trying to work against the grind. The Magic of Quantum Living, the Oneness Principle by Edwin Nel. I told you it's an inspirational guide. It's available in all good bookstores. Let me know what you think. You can email us morninglive@sabc.co.za. Let's go over to the sports desk. Lebo Stadibai.